Many have worn the mantle of Crimson Dynamo, but no one has done so longer than Dmitry Bukharin. Marvel Select brings you Crimson Dynamo. What is up, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again with another action figure review. This time, we're going to go the route of Marvel Select or Diamond Select, whatever you want to call it. It goes by both. So, yeah. And Marvel Select, they specialize in the 7-inch scale when it comes to action figures. So they're a bit oversized for Marvel Legends in most cases. There are some instances where you can effectively match them up, mix them up with your Marvel Legends because the character in question is of larger size. The Destroyer comes to mind. Some people really like the Hulk figures they come out with, even though I personally think that they are oversized. But considering how all over the place the Hulk gets drawn, I can't even be mad at anybody that has fudged a Marvel Select Hulk into their displays, what have you. The same can be said for this guy right here, Crimson Dynamo. This particular suit of armor, basically all the suits of armor from the Crimson Dynamo have been larger than the average sized human being, average sized man. So you should be able to fudge this into your collection once again, because with this armor on, our guy Dimitri stands a bit taller and wider, broader than the average character in Marvel, and that even includes Iron Man. So you see the packaging. Marvel Select hasn't changed their packaging up in, we'll say, ever. We still get the old school blister card bubble, and you've got the name of the figure going down the left side vertically, or I should say from the bottom up, as you would take, we read left to right here, Crimson Dynamo. And then, of course, you have the logo of the Crimson Dynamo down there below. You can clearly see the figure and all of the accessories, and that's all you got going on there. Turning him to his side, and of course I'll have to tilt it a little bit so you can see the artwork there of the Crimson Dynamo with helmet on. Cool. And to the rear, you can see different images of our guy there, and get him a little bit in there. I think, yeah, that should work right there. We've got that Crimson Dynamo at the top, and you see, like I said, different images of the Crimson Dynamo with his blast effects, both from the hands, and he emits some effects from his optic region too, so that's pretty cool. Now we've got the Crimson Dynamo out of the bubble packaging there, and you can see the 360. I definitely want to tell you, it's crazy because this is technically, we kind of sort of call this the classic Crimson Dynamo look, even though there was a true classic one from back in the 60s, which I would like to see that also, just to have however many iterations of the Crimson Dynamo that I could possibly get. But this right here is typically, arguably, what we think of when when we're thinking about the Crimson Dynamo in this particular suit of armor. It's with the ratchets and everything like that, it looks pretty well. Diamond Select has done a great job. We've got the metallic look with the paint finish, and I think that's a nice color red that they've used, crimson, if you will, for the figure. And the head sculpt, when we get him off the base and get him up close, you're going to see what I'm talking about in regards to that head sculpt. So that is definitely a point of attention that we need to concentrate on. Anyway, as far as accessories are concerned, we get another head sculpt. Of course, this is the helmet. As you see, we've got the grill for the mouthpiece there and the eyes. So yeah, and it's this isn't the first time that Marvel Select. I'll go back and forth between saying Marvel and Diamond Select because it's both, so big deal. This isn't the first time that Marvel Select has displayed their figure in packaging with the the unmasked head. They did it with the Titanium Man, as a matter of fact. I recall they did it with the Destroyer. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that figure wasn't even called the Destroyer on the packaging. I could be wrong about that, but I believe Odin, the name of Odin was on that packaging. I can't recall. But yeah, be that as it may, this is not the first time that the actual helmet to the character in question is technically the accessory. We also get, in terms of the head sculpt, we get another faceplate, and this one is with a unibrow style. The lenses there. This is what it would look like before he would fire his blaster from his eyes, his optic blasts. And speaking of that, that's where this comes in. As you can see that right there. I like that Marvel Select has provided the blast effect as just part of the mask. So you just change out the mask and not have to worry about the eyes or having to insert them in anything. So that's pretty cool. So we've got that. We also have, in terms of blast effects, a set of hands that we got them right here. Let's get them straight. That also have blast effects. As he shoots, you can see how they're emitted left and right. And the energy is like an emanating type of energy as opposed to a straight up blast. So that looks pretty cool. And you see that the effects themselves are molded in a translucent crimson color. I'm going to stick with crimson because that's what this guy's name is. And he also comes with 2 additional sets of hands. And you've got some graspers, as you can see right there. And finally, he has some open style hands. Oh, just dropped one. That's not getting cut out, as you can see right there. So a fair amount of accessories. Let's get a height measurement of our Crimson Dynamo, our Dmitry Bukharin. And remember, this is a 7-inch scale figure. And I said that the Crimson Dynamo is a big boy in this armor. And even at being a 7-inch scale figure, this guy is coming in at 7 3/4 inches tall. So he's even big compared to other 7-inch scale figures. Getting up close to him, especially for this head sculpt, like I told you guys, the head sculpt is bananas to me. Apparently, it's looking like Marvel Select also is well versed in the face print technology, because this head sculpt looks great to me. It looks very, very realistic. Doesn't look cartoony or anything like that. The skin tone looks great. The beard mustache connect is cool. We've got the grays in there. The grays are I don't know if it's translating well in the on the screen, but they have a hint of blue. So we're talking that blue hair game, and he's bald head, so we don't have to worry about that. But the beard and mustache connect look very good, and he's got blue eyes. So yeah, the head sculpt looks great, and then of course the rest of them with the crimson, got the nice lines, the ratchety shoulder pads or gauntlets or epaulets, whatever you want to call them, and then with the arm and stuff. He's only going to be one color, but it's about the detail, which we can see right there. So Marvel Select has done a great job giving us that detail. You look at the wrist bands there, if you want to call them that, looking nice. The same thing down there with the shin guards, or whatever you want to call those. But he definitely specializes in the ratchety look. Nothing going on really, on the rear, just more of the same. So that's what our Crimson Dynamo looks like, and I think it looks very, very nice. Taking a look at his articulation, and keep in mind this is a Marvel Select. If I'm not mistaken, they are contractually obligated, I believe, which this sounds crazy, but hey, I just heard this. I could be wrong, but I believe that they're contractually obligated as far as their articulation is concerned, very limited. And once again, I could be wrong, but I know this guy on the box, it stated that he has 17 points of articulation. Marvel Select has never been big on articulation. They have improved over the years. I can tell you that. So what we got going on here with our guy Dimitri, he's got a head that's on a dumbbell. So he can, oh, it just came off on me. But as you can see, it is a dumbbell. Stick that back on. I guess that's a way of knowing I can only get it to look up but so much. So again, that's as high as that head will look up. He'll look down that far. And because he's on a ball dumbbell, he can, totally rotate around. And of course, he can 360. Arms, this is cool. The ratchets there for the shoulder pieces, there's a notch down there. That's why he's able to get his arms as close to the sides as he can. And so I'll do that first so you can see the notch. So you know that it can rotate 360 at the shoulders, but there's that notch right there. He can, of course, get out to nearly a full T-pose. And he can swivel like that. He's got a bicep swivel. It's kind of tight, but it's there. Here's where we, kind of disappointing. We've got single jointed swiveling elbows, and you're only going to get this much in terms of, the bend. That's about 45 degrees, unfortunately, but that's because of his forearm bands there. They do swivel, I believe I said that. He has swiveling wrists, and they work horizontally. As far as his torso is concerned, he's got diaphragm articulation, so he can go forward only a little bit, only that much. He can go back quite a ways, and you're going to get your kind of sort of side to side, not that much from up there, and you're going to get your rotation up there. Legs, hips, he can almost fully Van Damme it, believe it or not. That's crazy. He's got the thigh cutters in there, single jointed swiveling knees, no rotation there at the upper calf or anywhere in there. As far as the feet go, he gets you swivel down there on the feet. He can point the toe forward that far, up that far. He does have ankle pivot, and Diamond Select or not, there are holes, peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Here's the Dynamo with the helmet on, and you remember that we've got those face plates, so I believe I'm doing this for the first time, so we're going to discover this together. The faceplate should come off, and it does. Fortunately, that was simple and easy. That's what it looks like when there's nothing in there. And get that unibrow visor version and put that on. And crazy, but it gives Dynamo an entirely different look, as you can see. Looking at it close up, it is a it just changes the whole look. I think this would be a different Crimson Dynamo. In other words, somebody else was wearing the armor when they had this particular helmet on. And now we'll take that faceplate off of this, and we're going to add the optic blasting faceplate. Get a look at that. Once again, I'm doing this for the first time. We're experiencing this together, guys. So let me back him up and turn him a little bit so you can see what's going on. You give him some personality there, move his arms up some, and there we have it. Optic Blast Crimson Dynamo. And now here's a look at him with his energy emitting hands on. Looking pretty nice there. Pretty good, pretty smooth. I'm liking this. I am liking this a lot. Here he is with an open hand on his left and the grasper, C gripper, on his right. I don't know what he would be gripping since he came with nothing else, but hey, we got the hands. Let's just be happy about that. Now for some comparisons, we've got the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of Crimson Dynamo. This is the most recent iteration of the Crimson Dynamo, and like I said before, no matter what version you think of, they've always been rather large. Next, we've got the big boy himself, Boris Bolsky, the Titanium Man, also from Marvel Select, and these two definitely work well together. And I was going to end it with just those two comparisons, but I figured, you know what, this is a Russia thing, so let's get it on. We've got Ursa Major here, another Build-A-Figure from Marvel Legends. And finally, we have Dark Star and the Red Guardian. We've got our we've got our Winter Guard, basically. And without this guy, there'd be no Crimson Dynamo. We have Iron Man in his classic getup. And speaking of Iron Man, here's a scene of the Crimson Dynamo getting the upper hand, at least for right now. And you know what? This is the Dynamo's video, so he may as well continue getting the best of Iron Man right now for while it lasts. And it's not going to last too much longer because this is the closer scene that we have here. So in conclusion, the Marvel Select / Diamond Select Crimson Dynamo, excellent figure, 7-inch scale, and love the detail. This is the classic look for the Crimson Dynamo. This is the look that arguably most think of when they think of the Crimson Dynamo, and we managed to get it. It's following. It's not right on the heels of their Titanium Man. It's a couple years after the fact, but hey, we got them both now, and I think they're going to look good on the shelf, either together as 2/3 of the Titanic 3, which I didn't mention during the course of the video, but that was a short-lived association. I believe the issue, it was Avengers 131. I'm going off the top of the dome. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what it was. And if it was 131 without me doing any research, hey, don't hold me, y'all. That's the idiot savant in me being able to recall stuff like that. Anyway, the third so-called member of this short-lived alliance was called, I believe he was called the Slasher or something like that. He was a bad guy, and he basically tricked Crimson Dynamo and the Titanium Man into teaming up with him to go up against the Avengers. And like I said, he got discovered, and that was it. Anyway, that would look good too, but unless somebody custom makes one, I don't think that we'll ever see that guy. We haven't seen him before or since then. And this is back in the 70s. So you can scratch it. Getting back to our guy, Dmitry Buchanan, the Crimson Dynamo, excellent figure, 17 points of articulation, and pretty good for what we get. It would have been nice to have gotten better range on the knees and elbows, but it is what it is. The design of the figure lends to some of that limited articulation. Great articulation in the head, though. You can still get him into some pretty dynamic poses, and you should be pretty happy with it. I know I am. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. While you're down there, give me a thumbs up. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time I upload another video. And speaking of another video, I had to get with the Crimson Dynamo because he showed up on my doorstep today. I was going to do another 50th anniversary Wolverine 2-pack video, but I had to jump on this. It was a change of pace. It's Marvel Select, so we'll resume with our Wolverine love next time, and that's how it'll get done.